or fat with example synonyms for fat through picture and what is another word for fat. Learn synonyms for fat with example synonyms for fat through picture and example sentences to increase your vocabulary in English. Table of contents. Fat synonym. O fat definition and examples. O list of synonyms for fat. O other words for fat with examples. Another word for fat image. Fat synonym. Fat definition and examples. Meaning of fat, also known as lipids, it is an oily material that is the store of energy in humans or animals. It can also be used to describe the size and weight of a person that is greater than what is expected to be average. Examples. This chicken is too oily. It looks like there's a lot of fat under the skin. The typical practice of weight loss these days is not to be healthy but to not look fat. I could eat what I liked without getting fat. List of synonyms for fat. Frequently used synonyms for fat. Bulky, heavy, plump, overweight, obese, chubby, roly-poly, big, chunky, large. Hefty. List of 165 plus different words to use instead of fat. Abundant, affluent, ample, beefy, best, big, blimp, bloated, blubbery, bovine, brawny, broad, bulging, bulky, burly, butterball, buttery, buxom, choice, chubby, chunky, coarse, colossal, considerable, corpulent, cumbersome, cushy, deep, dense, distended, dull, elephantine, elite, enormous, excessive, expansive, extended, extensive, exuberant, fatty, fertile, filthy rich, flabby, fleshy, flourishing, flush, fruitful, frumpy, full-bodied, gainful, gargantuan, generative, gigantic, good, goodly, greasy, great, gross, heavy, heavy-set, heavy-set, heavyweight, hefty, hippie, huge hulking, humongous, husky, immense, in the money, inflated, jelly belly, juicy, lard, lardy, large, larger, large scale, loaded, lucrative, lush, luxuriant, made of money, major, mammoth, massive, massy, meaty, mondo, moneyed, money-making, monstrous, muscular, negligible, numerous, obese, oily, oleaginous, opulent, outside, outsized, overblown, oversize, overweight, paunchy, pick, pinguid, plump, plumpish, ponderous, porcine, portly, pot-bellied, prime, prize, prodigious, productive, prosperous, pudgy, puffy, remunerative, rewarding, rich, robust, roly-poly, rotund, round, rounded, sebaceous, simple, sizable, slender, slight, slim, slippery, sloppy, smooth, soapy, soft, solid, spacious, splendid, squat, stalwart, stocky, stout, strapping, strong, stubby, stupendous, stupid, sturdy, substantial, suety, swollen, thick, thick-set, thriving, tremendous, tubby, vast, voluminous, wealthy, weighty, wide. Other words for fat with examples. Bulky, for example, David is a bulky man with balding hair. Heavy, for example, my brother is much heavier than me. Plump, for example, his plump face was wreathed in smiles. Overweight, for example, she was only a few pounds overweight. Obese, for example, obese patients are given dietary advice. Chubby, for example, do you think I'm too chubby? Roly-Poly, for example, he was a roly-poly little man. Big, for example, she is very big. Chunky, for example, I remember one time a little short, chunky white girl. Large, for example, he's a very large child for his age. Hefty, for example, her brothers were both hefty men in their 40s. More interesting examples with the word fat. If you weren't so inactive, you wouldn't be so fat. Try to cut out the foods that are making you fat. After 5 minutes. The fat woman in the seat in front of me was asleep. Too much whining and dining is making him fat. Some producers of mineral water have made fat profits. Don't spill too much fat on the barbecue as it could flare up. He had the audacity to tell me I was too fat. People should decrease the amount of fat they eat.